Let's move on with a look at some of the top stories causing a buzz online. It's Media Watch with James Creedon. Hi there, James.
Hi, Catherine.
Now, surprise, surprise, lots of reactions in the British press to the latest big name to speak out over the UK's referendum on leaving the EU. We're talking about the Mayor of London, Boris Johnson.
That's right. A lot of headlines in this morning's papers in Britain about that. It's time to take control, says Metro. The Daily Mail, Boris goes in for the kill. Meanwhile, The Sun with a colourful headline, blonde bombshell. The Daily Telegraph devoted half of its front page to an image of Boris Johnson with the Union Jack in the background. Boris,
very patriotic.
Absolutely. Why Britain should say no to the EU. Now, a lot of people commenting, such as John Williams, New York-based British journalist, saying that the Telegraph seems to already have anointed Boris as leader. And in another tweet, he made the comment that for some of the UK press, at least, this is more about Boris becoming Prime Minister than it is about Brexit. And indeed, because he's taken such a strong position against David Cameron, this is, I suppose, positioning himself in some respects for perhaps number 10 down the line. Now, David Cameron launched what the Telegraph called in this tweet an astonishing attack on Boris Johnson in his comment speech, saying, "I am not standing for re-election. I have no other agenda other than what's best for our country." The inference being, I suppose, that for Boris Johnson, this might be politicking and might be not just national interest, but also personal interest. Anyway, moving away from Boris Johnson, other people saying MPs on both sides of the aisle trying to make the case that the best reason to vote to remain is because it would really annoy Putin. Not sure that's the one that will convince most people. I think reasons closer to home are better argued.
I haven't heard much about Putin myself. It tends to be more about the economy and the migration crisis.
That's right. This will be a British vote as opposed to, I suppose, geostrategic concerns. Now, I'll just finish with this tweet from Stella Duffy, wondering if, dear France, can we come and stay, please? She seems a bit exasperated with certain British politicians. Just, Stella should be warned that there are also some radically unsavoury voices in the world of French politics too.
Yeah, it's not like the whole of France wants to stay in the European Union itself, but that's for another day. Let's stay with Britain for now. Now, newspapers, their numbers, circulation, been dwindling, but a new paper is going to be launched in the UK, a real paper. We're not talking about a website.
That's right. They're going against all of the trends. It's called The New Day, a new dawn for The New Day. It's going to have a circulation of about 40,000 when it eventually goes to press. So a lot of people scratching their heads saying, hold on a minute, I thought the trends were going in the opposite direction. You can see there, get a sense of what it's going to look like. Now, it's going to be apolitical. It's not going to have any editorials that are trying to push people in one direction or another.
Well, that's tricky to achieve though, isn't it?
Well, they'll be sitting on the fence on certain questions. It will also have an optimistic stance. That's a bit of a breath of fresh air. The publisher is Trinity Mirror, better known for the Daily Mirror and the Sunday Mirror. And so Alison Phillips, who's been tweeting about it, saying who is part of the launch, saying that we'll tell you everything you need to know, so it will be informative, one would hope, but we won't sensationalise or terrify you. Now, it is interesting that this comes just a few days after we heard that The Independent is to shut down its paper version and to go 100% online. So a lot of people have been wondering, is there a link? Trinity Mirror saying absolutely not.
Well, the circulation figures are remarkably similar, aren't they? The Independent had about 30,000 and they're aiming for 40.
That's right. So I think they probably did see a gap in the market and they just want to distinguish themselves. Now, interestingly, it has got a lot of reaction in France as well. La Tribune, which is one of the main business papers, they are talking about it on their website. Now, La Tribune went 100% online back in, I think it was early 2013, along with a newspaper called François. So the trend in France has very much been going towards online for some of the dailies, and indeed others have looked at that strategy at some point or other. So it's bucking trends. First time in 30 years that a paper is being launched, paper version. So I suppose we'll have to see how The New Day does.
A little revolution of sorts. Now, finally, James, I have to admit, I saw our next item. It's a viral video. I saw this on social media earlier on.
Yes.
And I thought, I'm sure James Creedon's going to love that. This is a very heartwarming video from the White House.
It couldn't be avoided. So many media picked up on this. It was, I think, definitely the most viral video I've spotted online in the last number of weeks and months. Now, it's a 106-year-old lady called Virginia McLaurin. It is Black History Month in the US. Now, this lady, at 106 years of age, was very, very familiar, I think it's fair to say, with segregation. She would have grown up with segregation during much of her adult life. In any case, let's take a look at how she was received at the White House for Black History Month.
Yes, sir. I thought I would never live to get in the White House.
Well, you are right here.
And I tell you, I am so happy.
We are happy to have you.
Like President.
Then look at him.
Yay!
Right there.
Like,
That's me.
yes. And I'm here to celebrate Black history.
That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
that's what I'm here for.
That's
Well, we're glad
right.
to have you here.
You have just made our day. You know that?
That's
That energy, man.
a very happy visit.
And she's going to be
indeed.
107 next month.
Wow.
I think she should be the next president of the United States.
I wonder if they asked her who she's voting for in the next election. Candidate's not decided yet.
I'm
but-
sure someone asked her. We don't know the answer just yet.
All right, lovely, heartwarming way to round off Media Watch. Thanks
Indeed.
so much.
Thanks, Catherine.
James Creedon there.